Hey guys, Lord here, back again with another action figure review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Masterverse new Eternia! The Ocean Warlord himself, brought to us by the fine folks over at Mattel. And before we get too far ahead of ourselves, we are going to take a look-see at all Merman has to offer in terms of accessories, but first a bit of a follow-up from yesterday's review of this Mahungahala right here. I actually did manage to get a replacement. Mattel was very kind in sending me a replacement Horde Trooper without me needing to send back the janky one, like good old Snout Spout there. If you didn't see my Snout Spout video, check that out for more on that. But let's just say I made a very compelling argument as to why that wasn't going to happen, and thankfully we were able to work something out. I was able to get this one, and thankfully this one does not have any quality control issues, so 2 thumbs up from me. Definitely one of the cooler Masterverse figures of the year. You get a good one, that is. Although I will say, the legs don't pop off nearly as easy, and one thing I noticed upon further inspection is that the Horde bat on the front pops off as well, for some reason. Again, I'd like a little bit more reasoning as to why all these parts come off, but they come off. So, putting them aside, take a better look at our Ocean Warlord here. Ocean Warlord's accessories here. I'm screwing up all over. Comes with a pair of open hands. Not exactly turn your head and cough, but could pass as swimming hands with hinges. We also get his trademark sword, which is curved this time around, so it looks more like a scimitar, more so than anything. It's got this big ruddy peg on the back, which I'm not a fan of, and it does manage to plug itself into the armor quite easily. Well, I mean, you have to do it, but you know what I mean. It plugs in. Looks fine. I think the Classics one was a little better with that. Preferred the clip that thing had. It was more streamlined. Didn't stick out as far. But there is like a bone handle on this thing. Wonder what he killed to get this. Then we also have this spear here, which I thought was curved too, but it's not. Unless I got the wrong spear. I don't know. The top twists, so I imagine if you heat it up you could probably pop it off, but there you go. There is the spear. Very cool looking spear. I don't know if this is the handle or not. I am holding it the thinner part so I don't stretch the hands out. But now taking a closer look at our Ocean Warlord here, he looks freaking cool, man. I love the metallic finish on this guy, not only the gold but also the green, that kind of watery green color. Looks really slick. Really slick. As far as his articulation goes, his crazy looking head will rotate side to side and look up and down a little bit. He's got real eyes, like fish eyes in there, kind of like what they did with Webstore. He does not have jaw articulation like the creature of the Black Lagoon, but it is what it is. I think it's fine. His shoulders will move forward and back, out to the side. He's got a bicep twist, double jointed elbow. He's got these cool fin gauntlets down here, and it's nice to see him get new lower arms that don't take away the double jointed elbow. That's always nice. What's not nice is he's got a swivel and a hinge in the wrist, but the hinge in the wrist is not the correct hinge for holding weapons, so boo, but whatever. The torso is on the same joint we're used to seeing, but it feels rather hindered on this figure. Doesn't move as far back and forth as the others. And it does appear to rotate at the diaphragm still. So it's the newer style joint, but it just does not have the range. It's got a waist twist. And then as far as the hips go, they will kick forward and back. Out. They got the dreaded drop down. I'm not a fan of. but it does stay in place. It's tight enough. Thigh cut, No problems with the thigh cuts on this guy or the other figure I got from this wave, which you'll see a little later. He does have a double jointed knee. That works fine. The top knee's a little bit looser than I'd like, but whatever. He's got a swivel in the boot, and then he has a hinge in the foot, which works a little bit better since I heated it. So, word to the wise, don't break your toys. Yeah, I freaking love this figure. I think he is probably Masterverse of the Year. I always said that Webstore, Clawful, Merman, Scareglow, and Triclops are my top dogs when it comes to Motu. So I'm looking forward to doing the top action figures of 2024, like maybe before New Year's if we're lucky. I mean, we don't have NECA Gargoyles to worry about, do we now? Too busy making Ninja Turtles crap. But either way, I think I'll have an easier time doing this year's list than last year's. I mean, it took me almost all of this year to make last year's list after all. Again, check that video out if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it if you did. I put a lot of work into it, man. But that's the Ocean Warlord Merman in a nutshell. So with that being said, it's time now that we move right along and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here's our new Eternia version of good old Merman, alongside the only other figure from this new-ish Masterverse wave I picked up thus far, the new Eternia Battle Armor Skeletor, as well as the new Eternia Triclops, who was my previous favorite Masterverse figure of the year, but I think it's safe to say that good old Ocean Warlord himself, Merman, here has taken that title, because this figure is just, it's something else, man. Let's getting these two out of here. So we can bring in our two regulars. Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibilith. Right there. With his foot that wants to give out, because of course it does. I'm not a fan of pinless joints. As well as the infamous 11 Spawn, who, as usual, towers over everyone. So, with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and I'm going to stand by my previous statement in saying that the images online don't do good old Merman any justice whatsoever, because in hand this figure is absolutely amazing. I have always been a big fan of the Ocean Warlord, but this figure is no exception. This may be one of the coolest versions of the character out there, along with the 2000X and Masters Classics versions, which I hold in very high regard because I've had those for some time now, and I love them both quite a bit. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.